The Epitaph of Cosmopolitan Law, From Habermas's Dream to Global Bestiality. Jürgen Habermas's dream of the institutionalization of cosmopolitan law was rooted in the belief that humanity could evolve from the right of might to the might of right. He hoped that humanitarian interventions, such as in Kosovo, would be a painful but necessary step toward a world order where the rights of every individual are protected by universal institutions, and where small and large states are equal before the law. However, the reality of the 21st century has taken a different path, the degradation of the ideals of humanity and their transformation into instruments of global dominance. The collapse of sovereignty and the license to exist. Classic Westphalian sovereignty, which guaranteed the inviolability of the borders of small states, has been effectively abolished. Sovereignty is now conditional. It depends on loyalty to a particular power bloc. Major players have appropriated the right to define a state's normality. If a country does not fit the hegemon's interests, it is declared a threat to humanity, which automatically revokes its right to legal protection and inviolability. Humanity as ideological bestiality. We are witnessing the complete confirmation of Carl Schmitt's thesis: whoever speaks of humanity is a cheat. The Western Bloc uses human rights and democracy as a moral justification for preventive wars and economic colonization. Neo-imperial Eastern blocs, Russia, China, mirror this rhetoric, justifying their expansion as a protection of values, struggle against Nazism, or security necessities. This is the very essence of bestiality at the border of law and morality, when war is waged not for territory, honestly, but for humanity, hypocritically. The enemy is stripped of their human status, and their destruction becomes a mere hygienic procedure. The production of the enemy, terror as a systemic echo. Instead of democratic dialogue, major players have shifted to a strategy of normalization and exclusion. A total system of dominance leaves small players with no legal means of resistance. In response to preventive strikes and humanitarian bombings, asymmetric terror arises. Following Foucault, power itself produces terrorism as a necessary evil that legitimizes further violence, increased military budgets, and the curtailment of freedoms. The terrorist is the mirror image of the imperial peacemaker. The New Cold War, a world of zones of influence. The world has finally fractured into closed blocks. Cosmopolitan law has been replaced by bloc law. International institutions, the UN, are paralyzed and turned into theatrical stages for propaganda. We have entered a state of a new Cold War, where great centers of power, the US/West versus China/Russia, divide the planet into zones of influence. Global discussion has been replaced by flashpoints of hot war in gray zones, where small nations become mere fuel for imperial ambitions. Conclusion: we live in an era of post-humanity. Words about human rights no longer carry weight because they have been compromised by the arbitrariness, Eigenmächtigkeit, of the powerful. The world has returned to a Hobbesian war of all against all, but with nuclear weapons and a much more sophisticated hypocrisy. Equality between large and small states has proven to be an illusion, and international law a mere cover for final solutions to political questions.